Sweet Baby Inc. is at it again. Involved in Insomniac Games' upcoming Marvel's Wolverine game, playable character Jean Grey gets the ugly treatment. Yes, this right here, this picture of this woman who looks like she's about 50, maybe 60 years old, is apparently going to be the absolutely gorgeous Jean Grey. Which, I mean, there's even images linked in this very article, like this one, which depict what Jean Grey should look like. The hacked footage revealed that there is gameplay that allows players to play as Jean Grey. It also revealed character designs for Jean Grey that make the character look more like Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy than any Marvel Comics artist depiction of the famous member of the X-Men, let alone live-action depictions such as Famke Janssen or Sophie Turner. Former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern, aka Grums, recently pointed this out, commenting, "Look what happened to Jean Grey from Insomniac. Insomniac Games Marvel's Wolverine from these leaked early screenshots for the first beautiful model to the masculine world-weary version we have today. They are ruining Marvel." And this is the post in question. This was the initial model that we got for Jean Grey, who does look fairly attractive, although the lighting and the pre-final effort is not necessarily up to par with something like a modern-day graphic AAA video game. However, it is a lot better than this, where it makes her look like she's about 50 to 60 years old compared to where she should be in terms of her comic book appearance. And if anyone gets offended by me saying this, I want you to realize male characters in comic books are depicted to look like the most masculine possible figures that you could imagine. Female characters are also depicted to be the most feminine in appearance. So is it wrong to want the female characters, who are supposed to be absolutely beautiful, to continue to look like absolutely beautiful feminine characters compared to the masculine ones? Here's a character sheet. Let me go ahead and zoom in on this for you. This is the new character design where she looks more like Kathleen Kennedy compared to what Jean Grey should look like. And this is a fairly low-res image as well, so we're not getting all the full wrinkles like we do in this. And this is probably more akin to what we'll actually see in gameplay. I mean, dude, the bottom half of the face makes it look like she's Mr. Ditkovich from Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. It's not the best look. Here's a post from Sweet Baby Inc. Flip and Snicked, so excited and so grateful to say that we're part of the teams bringing Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine to life. This has been amazing, folks. Check over here at what Grums has to say. Something big happened yesterday, and most people missed it. Every theory we had about the uglification of women in AAA games turned out to be true. Look what happened to Jean Grey from Marvel at Insomniac Games Marvel's Wolverine. From these leaked early screenshots of the first beautiful model to the masculine world-weary version we're having today, they're ruining at Marvel. Yes, Marvel's Wolverine is a Sweet Baby Incorporated game. We were told it was difficulty of scanning actors or tricks of light, and we had bad screen caps. We were told we were incels for even questioning it. As a game dev, I knew this was BS. As gamers, you knew it was BS from comparisons with Asian games. Yesterday we found out. A principal artist, read this as lead, so a principal artist or a lead artist at major studios incorporating Naughty Dog, Rocksteady, and Respawn told the truth. So if we scroll down here, I'm going to take you to this separate post right here. This is also from Grums. I'm going to read you this one. Yesterday, a principal artist at major studios such as Naughty Dog, Rocksteady Games, and Respawn talked about this frustrating and trying to get his designs for beautiful female characters approved at AAA studios. Every time he concepted every time he pitched them, every time he brought it up at meetings, he was ignored. Inexplicably, each character went from beautiful to grocery store aunties. Each revision was worse than the last. This is no fan of gamers or GG2. This is a liberal woke dev with seemingly a lot of talent who is bringing you this information, and he hates to have you use it. But he feels strongly enough that even he has to say something. This is no myth. This is no conspiracy theory. This is happening in AAA, and you were right all along. Why is this happening? And let's be frank with this. The reason why it's happening, the reason why we take that, why it is that not we, but why it is that modern gamers are taking beautiful female characters like Jean Grey, who was relatively attractive in this screenshot, but later on we get this one of her looking like Kathleen Kennedy and Mr. Dukovich had a love child, is because the left hates beauty. The left hates beauty. And Insomniac Games and the Sweet Baby Incorporated are heavy leftists. We know that Sweet Baby Inc. is involved with Marvel's Wolverine. We know this because of Sweet Baby's own tweets and because a narrative director from Insomniac Wolverine game came to the defense of SBI. Yeah, SBI, Sweet Baby Incorporated, is doing nothing good. Yeah, another image right here makes it look like she's actually Melinda Gates. That's not Jean Grey. Again, if I come back over to this page right here, we have an image on the cover of an X-Men comic book of what Jean Grey should look like. An absolutely stunning and gorgeous and beautiful red-haired woman who would definitely capture the heart of someone gruff and tough like Wolverine. It's only gotten worse. It's only going to get worse. And we have this Ditkovich, Kathleen Kennedy, Melinda Gates hate love child instead of who Jean Grey should be. Alright. I'm not going to go too much into this. I'm not going to go keep harping on it. You guys have already seen it. The evidence is right here. We have this screen cap. We have this screen cap. We know that they're deliberately making the female characters and comic book characters more and more like old 50 to 60-year-old women and just generally not attractive. Generally not attractive. And they're making the men look all feminine and wimpy and simpering. Or whimpering and simping, whatever you want to call it. So it's just getting worse. It's only going to keep getting worse. And that's why it is that I'm not buying this game. I'm not going to continue to support any company that decides they're going to put their political agenda over telling good stories. And that's part of the reason why it is that I absolutely adore the Rippaverse. It is a fun and engaging comic book series created by one guy who was sick of all the politics and just wanted good old-fashioned comic book stories. And so far, the ones that he's made have been awesome. And I gotta tell you, my favorite so far is Alpha Core. If you guys haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend that you go check out the Rippaverse, especially Alpha Core. So far, that is my favorite of the comics. Yairo is also pretty fun, but it is very, very action heavy, and there's not much in the way of a story, I feel. Now, there is a lot there. There's a lot in that story. I mean, there's so much story, right? But there is a heavy centering on action. So if you're interested more in a police procedural where you get to see investigations and criminal activities, I'd recommend the Alpha Core. I found that one to be the most engaging. However, that does not mean that Yaira is not jam-packed with lore for the Rippaverse. And I cannot wait for ISOM 3 and for Gooding and that other one that I saw on his website that was conveniently taken down because I think it was leaked. But I got to see a glimpse of it, and boy, did it look awesome. Anyways, I hope you guys have a great day and a great rest of the week.